Okay, real talk. Raise your hand if the phrase VA home loan makes your brain immediately do one of two things. Option one, it conjures images of heroic, perfect people being handed keys to flawless houses while a bald eagle cries a single majestic tear. Or option two, it spirals into a confusing vortex of government forms, acronyms you can't decode like COE, DTI, PITI, and this nagging feeling that there's a catch you haven't found yet. A few years ago, back in 2013, my hand was so high, it was practically giving the ceiling fan a high five. I was that second person. I had my certificate eligibility, which I got after a thrilling afternoon of digital paperwork that felt like doing my taxes. I was staring at this incredible benefit, this holy grail of home ownership with no down payment and great rates. And I had no idea how to actually, use it. My realtor was some help, my lender was some help, but I met Lacey Bond from First Community Mortgage, I would say about midway through last year, 2025. And let me tell you, the difference between being confused about your VA loan and actually understanding it is exactly one Lacey Bond. Today, we're gonna drive up to Waco and we're gonna sit down with her in her office. And if this is your first time to the channel and you wanna know everything about living in Central Texas that you could possibly know, hit that subscribe button. So that way you'll be one of the first ones to be notified when a new video drops. My name is Matt Dick. I've lived here in Central Texas for over 13 years, and my team and I absolutely love helping people make that move here to Central Texas. Whether that's in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to reach out. All of our contact info should be down below in the description or right here at the bottom of the screen. One of those places. All right, so like I said, today we're gonna be discussing the VA home loan, and to help us with the VA home loan process, we have
Lacey Bond with First Community Mortgage.
And she's been in mortgage for
2 years, almost 3.
And what is the best mortgage that you like to do?
My bread and butter is the VA loan.
Okay, but you can also do
Conventional, FHA, USDA, and bond loans. Bond, like James Bond.
Okay, yeah, like James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so been in mortgage for 2 years. Where were you originally from?
I am an Air Force brat. Both of my parents were Air Force, so I was born overseas, and then
Where at?
Italy, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my mom could see the Leaning Tower of Pisa from her hospital window. So I've been everywhere, but San Antonio is home for me.
Okay. What brought you to Central Texas?
Military lifestyle.
Okay, all right, right on.
Yep.
And then, any kids?
Yep, I have 2 kids, a
Awesome.
7 and a 4-year-old. I know, fun ages.
So we're gonna jump right into the questions. For a veteran watching this who's never used their VA benefit before, can you explain in a simple terms what makes the VA loan different from a conventional loan?
So with conventional loan, you have a down payment. You also have mortgage insurance, which is rolled into the monthly payment. With the VA loan, you don't have a down payment and you don't have monthly mortgage insurance like you would with conventional and FHA.
Okay.
But even though there is no down payment, you still have upfront costs like earnest money and option fees and potential closing costs.
Why should a seller accept a VA home loan over an FHA, conventional, or USDA?
So the VA loan is a government-backed loan, but because of that, it's very cut and dry, black and white. So the guidelines aren't as easily movable. So when a seller is accepting a VA loan, they know that there's gonna be by the board, there's not really any craziness that's gonna go on with it. So it should be actually more accepted among sellers than we see.
Okay. All right, right on. Moving on to question number 3. When we're talking VA appraisals, how do they work and what should a buyer expect so that they're not surprised during the process?
So I'm not an appraisal expert, because I'm not an appraiser. But a lot of VA appraisals, they take a minimum of 10 business days.
Okay.
And a lot of the times buyers and sometimes agents are a little frustrated with the long appraisal wait time. And sometimes they can take it out on us lenders, but we have no control over that. But with VA appraisals, it's definitely something that is more on the seller end than the buyer end. You still have to worry about tidewater, and if the appraisal comes back lower than what the purchase price or the contract price is going to be. So that's something to think about when negotiating and all that.
Now, this is a run on for question 2. As we're looking, me as the agent with these buyers going through these homes, what should we be looking for that's gonna scream run away because it's gonna affect the appraisal? Like, I know your typical wood rot and maybe foundation issues. Is there anything else we should be looking for?
Honestly, solar panels.
Solar panels?
And roofing in general. A lot of times and I've gotten this with a few VA loans, so like the roof has to be replaced and then the appraiser has to go back out. But with solar panels, you have to also qualify for the loan of the solar panels if they're not paid off, and also qualify for the loan of the home as well. And solar panels don't really add value like sellers think they do. It actually makes more of a headache than they think.
I think in the Austin market, at least for Central Texas, it adds more value down there than it does up here in the Belton Temple, Waco.
Because they're able to pay it off.
Exactly.
Most people up here aren't able to pay off the solar panels before they sell the home, so it makes more sense. But honestly, if you don't plan on staying in the home forever, I don't recommend getting solar panels for the resale value.
I agree with you.
It's more of a headache than they think.
100% I agree with you. Is there any must-haves it has to have so that the appraiser is going to check?
Like must-haves of like
in the home, like does it have to have heating?
Yeah, so all utilities have to be turned on whenever the appraiser goes in. They have to make sure that the water can run correctly, the heating can run correctly. Like, you want to make sure that all utilities are on before they go in there. And that's more on the seller's end than, the buyer's end. But, a good lender coordinates with the seller's agent and the sellers to make sure that the appraiser has a good ebb and flow whenever they go in.
Okay.
Everything's smooth.
Heck yeah. That's all I got for 3. So question number 4, can you talk about the 0 down payment, who qualifies, and are there situations where putting money down makes sense?
So there is no down payment with the VA loan. You have what's called the funding fee, which gets rolled into the loan. But what people don't realize is that with your VA entitlement, once you reach the conforming loan limits of your county that you're purchasing in, then there is going to be a down payment. But I mean, right now, the conforming loan limits are in the $800,000 range.
Okay.
So that's, something to keep in mind whenever you're going to purchase multiple properties using your VA loan.
Yeah.
But, putting money down does make sense if you plan on staying in the home long term. But I honestly recommend, instead of putting the money towards the loan as a down payment, putting it towards buying down the rate, because the rate is going to make a bigger difference if you're worried more about the monthly payment.
Okay. Especially
with how rates are today. We're not in COVID rates anymore.
No.
No more 2 to 3%. No, we're looking at 5 to 6s. And that's average. Back in the day, we were looking at rates that were in that same range. And also, gosh, I did a fun little thing with the Home Alone house when it was first purchased right before the movie came out. Their average interest rate was 12% when it was purchased. So, if you think about that, 6% doesn't look too bad.
No.
Yeah. And it's a buyer's market anyway. You can always negotiate seller credits to have them pay for the buy down versus you paying for the buy down.
What are the most common mistakes veterans make when using their VA home loan, and how can they avoid them?
A lot of mistakes are with the whole quote, no down payment. They think that they don't have to bring anything to the table. So they come with the application thinking that they don't have to have anything in their bank, but that's not the truth. You still have to have money in the bank. You still have to have positive equity in your bank account. because at the end of the day, you still have to come in with your earnest money, your option fee, which you do get credited back at closing. It goes towards your closing costs.
Yeah.
But that's something that most buyers don't think about. Another mistake is that even though the VA loan does not require a minimum credit score, there are lender overlays which do require a minimum credit score. So for First Community Mortgage, we have a 580 minimum credit score with the VA loan, which is still relatively low. I mean, that's lower than the average credit score. At the end of the day, you just have to find a good real estate team, lender and agent who work well together, because if you have a team that works well together, the transaction is going to go as smoothly as possible.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So if you're looking to use your VA benefits, whether it's in all 50 continental United States?
Yep, all 50 United States.
Give Lacey a call at
254-304-1206.
If this was your first time to the channel and you absolutely love this type of content, hit that subscribe button. Show me some love. I really, really do need it sometimes.
Yes, you do. All the love.
And then hit that like button so that the algorithm will know that I'm doing an okay job sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And then, as before, my team and I absolutely love helping people make that move here into Central Texas or out, whichever one you prefer. And we do have lenders that lend in all 50 states. Our contact info is down below in the description or right here at the bottom of the screen. So feel free to reach out at any time. And try not to party too hard. It's kind of crazy out there right now.